And I'm going to record right now, and I'll let you know when we're at 15 seconds.
Alright.
Because now I have to pay more attention to make the video pop in. And
Welcome back to the Nub. I am the Merce.
hey, it's Felton.
And today we are going to discuss how to make a proper chocolate souffle.
Ooh, in a Dutch oven.
Okay. Oh, well, never mind. I just think of like pulling the covers over somebody's head.
This souffle also
Anyways.
is the best way to attract a Sasquatch.
And back to the Sasquatch discussions.
I can't stop. Nothing will stop me. I'll never stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. So, lately I've been reading this comic book. I've been reading as much about it as I can, called The Darkness, because Top Cow has a open submission competition going on right now. You have to write or draw a 20-page comic book for their Darkness franchise. So I didn't know anything. Well, I knew I had a small inkling as to what the Darkness was, but I am now immersing myself in it so I can try and write something to submit to that. So anybody that's interested in that Top Cow competition, I think if you just go to their website, you'll see it on there. I think it goes until February 20 something. So anybody that would be interested, that wants to try breaking in comics or something like that, should definitely consider giving it a shot. I mean, the worst that happens is you read some comic books and come up with a cool, interesting idea, and you have a little fun doing that. So
see, I love this because I can go to the website and I can just bring Google Chrome in front of the in front of the recording area, and then they can see the link.
Yeah.
And topcow.com.
That's actually
The Darkness.
That's actually really awesome. So yeah, I've been reading a couple of the Darkness books. Matter of fact, let's see if I can find the picture that I took of the one that I was reading. This is the exciting part of the podcast where we take turns searching for things. Let's see. Here it's loading up, and there we go. So that was the first one that I read. That one was really, really good, actually. The writer on that is Phil Hester. I've heard a lot of great things about Phil Hester, but surprisingly, I hadn't actually read any of his work yet until this. And now that I've read it, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta find more of this Phil Hester. But yeah, it was really good. So basically, the concept of the Darkness. Do you know about the Darkness? I mean, they had 2 video games out, so.
Oh, like
you
wait a minute. Are you
played
talking
those.
about like the Darkness of the guy that has the stuff coming out of his back?
Yeah. So they actually they turned it into a video game. It's basically a hitman who has this dark power deep inside him that when he turns 21, it comes out, and then he can use it for various means. He's not a good guy by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not 100% evil either. So it's interesting. I'm really liking it so far. I'm surprised I didn't read it back in the day, but I think it's just because I felt like it was so 90s. It came from the Witchblade series, and I don't know if you've ever seen like the any of the art depicting the Witchblade series, but it's a woman who's like basically naked, covered in like this like
Metal stuff.
skin tight metal stuff. So yeah,
Metal bikini.
metal bikini, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, the Darkness is actually pretty good. So the more I learn about it, the more interesting it's becoming. So that's what I've been doing recently. And I know that you have been locked away playing Borderlands 3 to the point
Trying
where
to play Borderlands
I'm actually
3, yeah.
I'm actually worried about your health, to be quite honest. Like,
Well, that was already bad to begin with. I mean, to be honest.
I worry that you might not live to see another day. And as much as that may sound like a Bond movie, it's it comes from a place of real concern for you. So
Well, I did eat.
Just letting you
I
know.
did eat yesterday. I ordered takeout Chinese food.
oh, did you? Oh, I was gonna say, did you have another salad with mayonnaise?
I mean, just don't judge me. That's fine.
But all dressings are mayonnaise based. No, bro, they're not.
Okay, here we go. Simple salad with mayonnaise dressing right there in the chat. Look at that. It's a real thing. People do it.
That sounds disgusting.
Look at that. 5 tablespoons of mayonnaise.
Oh God!
At least I was okay. So I don't understand. You take sriracha. That's sriracha mayo, right? That's how they make like light sriracha.
I don't know because I can't see what you're seeing right now.
Well, I'm pulling it up. Like you take sriracha and basically you mix it with mayo, and then you get like a lighter cut on the sriracha, so it's not so hot.
Mm-hmm.
So you just click that link, and then you can see that sriracha mayo is a real thing.
Everybody's
gonna know
mayo
that
actually.
I can't spell. That's the bad part too. Is our last episode, I was trying to type in Nightingale, and I was like, "Oh crap! It doesn't have autocorrect." So I went over to Google and then corrected it. So any shrewd observer is gonna see my secret that I'm really an idiot.
A terrible speller.
I'm a terrible speller.
Hey, I'm a terrible talker, so it's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, I haven't said anything.
That's how we're doing the podcast.
The charm.
Oh, so Foxtail and I have been watching a lot of horror or Halloween type movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, like September, we started watching that stuff all the way through to November, basically. And one of the movies that we watched isn't really a horror movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's actually kind of a beautiful ghost story. It's called Boys in the Trees or The Boys in the Trees, something like that. And it's an Australian film. It takes place in it was filmed, I think, like 2017, 2018, but it takes place in the 90s, right?
Uh-huh.
And the whole time I'm watching it, the main character, I'm like, my God, he reminds me of somebody. He reminds me of somebody. And finally, it dawned on me when I downloaded the Final Fantasy VIII remake. The main character in this looks like Squall from the Final Fantasy VIII game.
Oh,
and I was like,
cool.
my God, if they make a live-action Final Fantasy VIII movie, they need to cast this guy.
Is that
His name
Corey?
is Toby. No, it's Toby.
In the movie, though, is that
Wallace.
the character Corey?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
The main character, yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh my God, like he's got the fur jacket, the whole 9 yards. He just needs the gun blade. He also needs a scar in between his eyes, but whatever. So I was like, oh my God, I couldn't get it out of my head. And now that we have this that I can actually post stuff on here, I could actually show you guys what's been messing with me for a little while now.
Oh, good.
You can get a little insight into how my brain works.
See, this so many good things are going to happen because of this edition.
Mm-hmm. I do like this.
One bad thing is it's going to dramatically increase my editing time, but whatever, it's fine. I don't have to sleep.
But see, then I can add like goofy stuff like this with the, you shall not pass, and then Lilo holding up the multipass.
Well, something I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing it right now, is actually take like the nub on Facebook, and we can go through and we can actually scroll down through stories. Like last episode, we talked about Sid Haig. Boom, right there. We have all the sad reacts from people. Boca's premiere party Thursday, October 10th. See, boom, right there.
Yeah.
Important news.
That means you have to get this podcast up before October 10th.
Oh, that'll happen. That'll happen. Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in you. Anyway, so, God, it's so hard not bringing up topical things because, the way that our world works.
When
right?
I get caught up and hurricanes don't, mess up my day and life and wallet, because that hurricane cost me $1,000. So.
Oh my goodness.
That was kenneling fees for the time I was at work. So that was great.
It really shook you down.
Yeah. And I tried to make a low-key joke to my employer, like, hey, you guys gonna help me out?
And they're like, Felton, you're so funny.
You're adorable, little boy.
You are hilarious.
You're adorable. No.
Like, I know that we needed you for, for all the stuff, but at the same time, you are downright hilarious.
You know what? I can't complain. It's a great job. It's a great place. You know, again, not saying where I work or what I do, but I will say
You
and
work
again,
in a
it's
you work in a candy
anonymously.
factory.
Yeah, I work in a candy factory. It's anonymous, so you know, I mean, this benefits me nothing to say that I do have a good employer, and you know, I did obviously make that money to pay for the kennel fee due to the overtime, but that's what I'm saying is
All-
like, you know, basically all that overtime covered my dog's expenses. So now I'm starting an Instagram, and they're gonna work their way out of debt. So check
the
them out.
dogs are.
Check them out at the Three Amigos Instagram page. I post pictures daily of them being shitheads, and my Catahoula videos
I
of
thought it
him
was
biting
gonna.
me.
I thought it was gonna be like some kind of like lewd stuff or something, you know, like.
They put like bikinis on him and like the Twitch streamers.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, there
Then you
was
can sell their bathwater.
Oh, gross. Doggy bathwater. Gamer doggy bathwater.
Yes.
So there was a Twitch
I'm just
streamer
saying.
recently. Hold on, let's do a live Google. Obviously, it should be Twitch streamer banned. Apparently, she was notorious for this. This should be like the #1 story. Oh wow. Okay. Well, whatever. No. Anyway, there was one where she had an accidental, you know,
I'm so glad we took the time to.
Shut up. There was there was an accidental, you know, slip when she was playing with her dog on the floor, and like apparently Twitch was like they're really cracking down on this stuff. But whatever. Screw you, Google. But yeah, so there's all this uproar over this chick getting banned, and it's like this is just such a weird platform. That's a very strange platform. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand it. Like the whole e-girl thing.
See.
Like that I don't
See this this gift that I shared right now is you washing your dogs for the Instagram, yeah, for the Twitch.
Oh God, I wish they were that. That dog looks like he is sedated because there's no way that thing is just letting him do that. He got some tramadol.
So then you can sell that bathwater when it's done.
Well, I'll tell you, the Catahoula I have, right? He's been on sedatives for months because of his heartworm treatment, right? When I got him, he had heartworm, and that was great, you know, because he was nice and calm and just, you know, relaxing all the time. And now that
Chilling
now,
out, relaxed,
yeah,
and all cool and all all
yeah,
playing some b-ball outside the school.
yeah, and then got in trouble in the neighborhood. But now that he's off of it, and you know, he's got a clean bill of health, I've got to like. Man, I'm exercising him. I you know, maybe actually now that I'm thinking about it, I think maybe playing tug with him is what happened to my knee, because my wrist got messed up because he jerked. You know, I have this giant rope. It's turning into dogcast, and he pulled it, and I sprained my wrist playing with him because he's like 65 pounds. He's not tiny.
Well, it's old man dogcast, but go ahead.
Yeah, old man dogcast. So anyway, you know, my dog's beating me up. You know, I get bullied at work. Like they won't pay for my, you know, life. So you know, I'm just not having a good time.
Sounds like your life is just absolutely phenomenal. Like
Nobody wants to be me. If I was rich, I would just tell people like, no, you don't want this. You know, if I was famous, I don't want this. No.
Oh man, that's what you're gonna be known for too. Like if this podcast ever picked up, like that's what they'd be like. Oh, aren't you the guy that's got all the health
Aren't you
problems
that
and cries
pathetic
about
guy?
everything? Like,
You're that pathetic guy, right? Like, aren't you? Yeah, that's me.
well, that's okay because they'll be like, "Hey, aren't you the guy that never gets anything right at all? Like, doesn't matter what it is. Like,
This is my constant state of being right here. Hide the pain, Harold. That's how I feel. I love the fact that guy embraced being a living meme. He's pretty much like one of the great heroes of the internet. That and Edward Khalil, the Edward. I think,
sure.
I think. Hold on, I'll find the correct spelling. Hold on,
Take your time. I'm just gonna keep posting gifs of you crying.
Well, first of all, Emma Stone is a wonderful actress.
She is.
So I don't know what you're talking about. There we go. Whoop! I have to censor that. No.
It's our podcast. So we can put whatever we want. That's fine. As long as there's no boobies, we're good. Oh, why'd you get rid of it?
Oh well, I was trying to. I'm
not.
There we go. There we go.
Friendly.
Family friendly. There he is, right there. He's considered a national
All right.
treasure in Russia. So.
All right.
He's just a great man.
Oh my God. I think you're losing your mind here.
That's the song. That's the Trollolo song.
I know, but it doesn't mean you're not losing your mind though.
Oh, another sad
right.
news.
Go
Star
ahead.
Trek Deep Space Nine actor Aaron Eisenberg passed away.
Yeah.
That's sad because wasn't he Quark's son? In the
Yeah,
show?
he was the young guy.
Yeah, the ensign.
Little guy.
Yeah. And apparently, I
Was
didn't
it
realize
Talk or
this.
something like that, or
Yeah, he was a
Toke or
beloved
Talk or
character
something?
apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sad. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it made me. It actually is sad enough that it made me stop posting crying memes because
Oh.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be disrespectful. Stop making me laugh. I don't want to be disrespectful.
So on Star Trek Online, they actually a bunch of people logged in, because apparently it's still running, and a bunch of people logged in, and they had like I guess it was a location that was significant to the character. I don't know, but they or something like that. And anyway, they had a like a torchlight, candlelight vigil for him in the game. So I thought that was kind of sweet that like years later, I mean, apparently people still play it. That's wild to me. But this is really dated graphics. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of sweet that, people got together and did something nice like that. The internet's not garbage all the time.
Well, that's kind of the cool thing about fandoms, or at least some fandoms, is that you really get attached to the characters that are portrayed in your favorite shows and movies and stuff, so that when they do pass away, like you want to do something kind of respectful, as a tribute to them. I think that's kind of a beautiful thing. Personally.
Oh yeah, I'm showing in the video right now. I just got a picture of the article that they were.
Yeah, I see that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very beautiful. Wow, those graphics are definitely dated, though.
What I want to know is how they got torches. Oh, I guess you go to planets where you need torches.
Yeah, I remember. You don't remember the episode of Star Trek where you needed torches?
Well, I mean, they
I'm
go
sure.
to.
Now that I said that in a sarcastic manner, there's going to be like, I'm going to look it up, and there's going to be hundreds of episodes.
In the
where they
episode
had
where
torches.
Kirk was fighting the Gorn, he had to fashion a torch out of a bolt of cloth and his own feces, Gorn feces, to be able to see in the darkness. Merce, why don't you know this? What are you, a nerd? You're not a nerd.
Okay, so anybody that has any hate mail for people that do bad impersonations of 80s nerds, go ahead and send that to Felton at...
And if you show up at my house, I will beat you up. Put bubble gum in your hair.
Oh my goodness, that just reminded me. Okay, so did you see the story about the guy on Twitter, I believe, who, he's a relatively in shape guy, and he takes a picture of himself in the mirror, and he's like, I don't play D&D. And then what is his name now? Oh, you got the nub up. You could probably see the story on there. But the guy from True Blood who played a werewolf, and then he was also in Magic Mike. He's like the really tall guy.
Oh yeah.
He's Slade. He's got like, it's like Miglio or something like that. So he fires back. Shots fired with his one of his Muscle magazine pictures where he's just cut and ripped as hell, and at the top of it says "I do," and the internet lost its mind for a little while. I thought it was great.
It?
I did post on the nub, but I guess, or maybe I post on the nub Instagram. It gets confusing sometimes because I'm
so many
constantly trying to.
Guy from Werewolf Show that plays D&D. Hold on. We're gonna do it live.
Guy from where? Just do Slade. Joe
Manganiello. I can never pronounce
There you go.
his name.
That sounds perfect. It sounds exactly like his name is.
Oh, geez, look at that.
But yeah, So first off, he's married to the woman from Modern Family, the very beautiful woman.
Sofia Vergara?
Yes, thank you. And he bought a house recently with her, and it had a giant wine cellar, right?
Oh,
And the
God.
wine cellar is like this, like beautiful, like brick, like tunnel kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he converted it, the entire wine cellar, this massively big wine cellar, into his D&D dungeon to play D&D with his friends. Like he goes to hospitals and like with sick kids and teaches them how to play D&D and stuff. Like he's really big into D&D,
Oh,
and I
I
guess
love stories
recently
like that.
he's actually working for D&D now. He's going to be writing some of their campaigns and stuff. So
Yeah, right here. My Ark the Cruel, Dungeons and Dragons adventure module.
which is
Baldur's Gate descended
yeah,
to Aniverse. No crap.
which is based off of it's based off of his homebrew or his not homebrew character, but his character that he played for years. You know, his character is now ascended into the D&D mythos. So that's pretty freaking amazing.
Man, his Twitter is like all about D&D. Holy, I'm just scrolling
Yeah, he
through.
loves D&D. Like he's no joke.
Oh my God, this guy's a giant, awesome nerd. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's
So
why I think it's so great that the topics that we touch on and things that we love are, you got a guy who spends a lot of time. I would assume he spends a lot of time being fit, but
yeah, of course.
he also loves what he loves, and I think that's fantastic. And that's why when anybody tells me, hey, you're an adult man, what are you doing, playing that virtual reality in those Borderlands? I just tell him, I said,
Those those Borderlands.
look at Joe Mangateliano, like
I can't even say his name.
Joe Mangalano.
Look at Joe. Look at Joe. Impossible to pronounce last name.
How do you pronounce Joe Mangateliano? Let me see here. Oh shit! I want copyright strike. Stop! Don't play the video.
Something inappropriate coming on.
No. It was a YouTube video of him, and I guess saying his name, but I didn't want them to.
Thought it was your Pornhub account coming up all of a sudden.
No, I don't have that. Okay, here we go.
Turns out
Joe Manganiello.
you got Joe
Manganiello.
However, is that how you say it?
Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello. Okay,
I don't think that's how you say it.
Well, that's how the computer man just told me how to say it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
God, I look fat in that picture.
Oh my god. I swear, I feel like I'm in a marriage with you sometimes when we're doing this podcast.
Oh no, I closed
Oh
up
my
the one
God.
window and I saw our Halloween Horror Nights photo and I look like I just ate a whole bunch. I did eat a whole bunch of food, never mind. Yeah.
Oh my god, I look so fat in this picture. Oh my god, and my elbow hurts, and my blood pressure's up, and I got the gout.
Ooh, you know what? I haven't checked my blood pressure, but ever since I started doing cardio,
Oh my god.
it's gone down and I feel a lot better.
Uh-huh.
So I also stopped
Congratulations, my friend.
drinking. I stopped drinking except at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, well, we were all imbibing then, and it was okay.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, actually. I still can't get over how good a time I had there.
Mm.
But, anyways, God, I sound like I'm out of breath.
Yeah, maybe you should do
Just
some
talking.
cardio.
Let me tell you more about
me-
the nerdy stuff I'm into.
Let me get into some more nerdy stuff.
I feel like I'm like breathing too heavily into the microphone.
Mm.
So Foxtail and I sat down. I'm a little behind on the American Horror Stories,
Oh no.
and so we finally sat down and watched Roanoke. Right?
Okay.
I loved that season so much that we binge watched it from like 10 o'clock. I don't know where, sometime in the evening, relatively early in the evening, till 6 something in the morning.
Yeah.
Like we were hooked. It was fantastic.
Oh my
Do you
God.
watch American Horror Story?
I watched the first season and it just kind of weirded me out. Like I just didn't, it didn't click with me. I think I watched season 2, and then they completely shifted. it was no longer about that first family, and they changed topics and did a whole bunch of weird stuff, and I just couldn't keep up with it. It was a lot.
Well, yeah, every
Yeah,
season's completely different, and they
yeah.
just use the same actors and actresses in totally different
Well,
roles
that's what
usually.
confused me.
Well, see that, and that's what I like the whole Roanoke one was fantastic. They set it up like it was a those like Discovery Channel unsolved mysteries kind of stuff, or or the haunting stuff where they'll be doing the interview with the actual people that it happened to, right? And then they'll have the reenactors doing the reenactment of the events that happened.
Yeah.
So they did it like that, and then it ends like in the middle of the season. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what are they going to do next? Well, then they go and they turned it into a reality TV show, like Big Brother.
Yeah.
And then they had the actors that were doing the reenactments and the real people that were involved in the incident all staying in the same house where the incident happened, you know? And then they ended that like one episode before the end of the season. And I'm like, what are they going to do now? Like, what are they gonna do for this last episode? And then that one was like the whole like Katie Couric interview with one of the characters, and it was like, this is amazing. Like they just kind of tapped into all that kind of reality TV stuff and used it for the show the entire time. I thought it was
Well, I
absolutely
saw this
genius. I loved
season
it.
about the is my fiance was watching the season about the cults.
That's the one I just started. Yeah,
Okay, because that sounded
I'm
kind of
not.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, well that one I've just started, the Colts one, and that
Oh,
one,
okay.
like you've got people freaking out after the election with Trump and everything like that, which I mean that's kind of scary to begin with. Oh no, we're not doing the
No, no,
political
not a
podcast,
political
but still,
podcast. No, but I did think that
but
season was great. The kid that was playing the politician, and he was in the first
mhm.
season, and he did the school
He's been like
shooting.
every season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That kid playing the cult leader, like, and then they put him in makeup, and then had him like, be every cult
Well,
leader that
don't
they
tell
were.
me because
Oh, 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 oh.
I've only seen like the first two episodes so far. Yeah.
I didn't say anything. No, but I think they did a
I mean,
phenomenal job, and specifically he did a phenomenal job. But that inspired me to want to watch the show. But you know,
yeah. Well, the personally, if you're going to go back to watch it again, I would start with Roanoke because Roanoke was just absolutely fantastic, and that's
basically,
the season right before the cult.
yeah. Although on other news, Disenchantment season 2 is
I cannot get into that show.
really.
I don't. I've tried like 3 times. I don't know what it is. I mean, I absolutely love Futurama. I was a big fan of The Simpsons for the longest time. But
Excuse me.
something about Disenchantment, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
just
what it is.
something to watch.
I've tried. I just can't. I can't get into it.
Oh,
So, do you have? I was thinking about this the other day. Do you have a list of, okay, so at Christmas, everybody, a lot of people have a list of movies they have to watch at Christmas, right?
okay.
And they usually watch it every year. It's the same movies, whatever they are. A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas, whatever. Okay, do you have a Halloween list of movies that you have to watch every Halloween?
No, the only movie, I have 2 films that I have to watch every year, and that
Okay.
is on St. Patrick's Day. I like to watch
Boondock Saints.
the Boondock Saints, right?
I
And
figured.
then on November the 5th, I got to watch V for Vendetta. And
Okay, because it. Go ahead.
no, that's yeah, obviously, that's
Oh.
my yearly ritual. And then yeah, whenever I feel like it, I just pop in Hard Boiled, directed by John Woo, starring Chow Yun Fat, and literally every other day of the year, I just close out every night 2 hours watching that excellent action film.
Well, you're not like a huge fan of horror, right? Like that's not like a.
It doesn't do much for me. It's ever since I was a kid, I think when I was real little, aliens scared the bejesus out of me,
Okay.
and that was about it. Like no other. Ever since I became a rational adult and realized that being scared is for babies about stuff like that, horror they just don't do it for me because what ends up happening is I get upset. You know, I'm just like, what are you doing? That's the dumbest shit. Stop it. What are you doing?
Don't go in there, Karen. Like, stop.
What? There's
You always get that one character.
Yeah.
You always get that one character, like her boyfriend gets up to go check to see what that noise was, and you hear him scream out, and you hear, like, you know, the slashing sounds of the knife as it's like bouncing off a bone, and she's like, Steven, this isn't funny, Steven.
Two things.
What's going on, Steven?
Two things that would prevent all that from happening: A, have an alarm system on your home, and B, own a firearm. Because then, oh, look at that. When there's a home intruder, you know when they've entered the home, and then you can shoot them. And unless you're in a movie where it's like some, you know, supernatural enemy, you're pretty much, that's going to solve all your problems, you know. And if it's aliens, space, you know, space horror, you should know better.
You're just screwed, yeah.
You should know better.
You shouldn't be in space.
You shouldn't be in space, or you should already know about what's happening. Like, you know, just being ill-informed. Either way, I get upset, and it's just, you know, it's irritation the whole time is what I feel. So I just don't like it. I'm too rational.
See, I've always been a big fan of horror movies. So every, but it's not just horror movies. Like every Halloween, I have a list of movies, and it changes slightly as the years go on. But there are I think there's a top 5 that I must watch every year. So for me, I have to see. And now, of course, it's going to elude me, the 5 movies that I have to watch every year.
Are you starting at 1 or are you starting at 5?
I'm just starting at the first one that comes to mind.
Okay.
Well, that will be A Nightmare Before Christmas. So I watch that one twice a year. I watch it at Halloween, you know, or at least in October, and I watch it in December, you know, because in my opinion, it's both. It's a Christmas and a Halloween movie, you know. I have to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show, even though it doesn't take place in Halloween. It's just like, it's got that whole feel of Halloween, the costumes, and, you know, and it's like the fun Halloween kind of, you know, where it's goofy and yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun. I usually have to watch at least one science fiction horror movie. Usually it's Alien, but sometimes it'll change. But I have to see at least one science fiction horror film, right?
Okay.
The Thing I watch once a year. I friggin' love John Carpenter's The Thing. Not the original black and white, but the 80s John Carpenter version. Love that movie.
Okay.
That's, you know, the body horror of it. And then usually I have to do at least one comedic horror movie. It's usually between now, because I love the movie so much. It used to almost always exclusively be An American Werewolf in London. But now, if I don't watch that, I have to at least watch Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's probably one of my all-time favorites.
Is that a comedy?
It is. It's a horror comedy, yes.
Okay.
It is absolutely fantastic.
I transcribed a list for you.
You wrote out my list. Oh my god, that is adorable.
I was typing it into a notepad in the recording zone as you were doing it.
That is beautiful.
so many fun things I can do now.
That's like a 5 that I have to watch. Although I typically in Halloween I watch a bunch of horror flicks. Like so far, and I consider September part of Halloween as well. September through November I consider all Halloween. But
that's fair. Ooh.
Sorry, I got another phone call. That was kicking me out for a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far this year, Foxtail and I, we've watched a bunch of them. We saw the second It movie. We saw, you know, the American Horror Story, Roanoke. We saw Nightmare Before Christmas. We saw the Child's Play movie, the original.
Yeah.
Love that. I don't know why they have to remake these movies. It drives me nuts, but whatever. We watched American Werewolf in London. We've just been on a horror binge, so it's been great. It's been absolutely fantastic. But yeah, so wow, you're just not a big fan of. But I find that any movie nowadays, it seems like, and maybe it's just because you're getting so old. But it seems like we have this discussion a lot, where it's like you're having a harder time suspending your disbelief. You know?
Yeah. Well,
you're finding it harder as you get older to really get in that that whole mindset. So.
Well, you know, and it's probably my fault. You know, just
it is.
Like I'm really looking forward to Joker, and I'm going
Yes, me
to
too.
give that a fair shake. But
They're already talking. They're already talking Oscar nominations. So
if
we'll see
anybody
how good it is.
if anybody can make it through that role without having
Hmm.
lasting mental illness, I think it's Joaquin Phoenix, because his life has been so tragic already, and
I don't know. I mean, Jack.
survived. He's
I think I said
survived a
this.
lot.
I've said this before with Foxtail. I think that Jack Nicholson needs to have a class where he teaches actors how to move on with their lives after a role. Because think about it, like he did The Shining, he did The Joker. He's done a werewolf movie. He's done a lot of these
Well,
like psycho and crazy movies, and he's able
look
to
at
just
Bill
kind of
Skarsgård. Have you seen?
yeah. He's gonna have a mental breakdown. I'm sure.
Have you seen his interview? I think he was talking with either Conan or Jimmy Fallon or somebody, talking about the lasting effects of the psychological effects of playing Pennywise. Like for months and months
Well,
and months after playing the character, he was having dreams somewhere he was Pennywise, terrorizing people. Others were, Pennywise was in his dream and he was interacting with him. And then there was
yeah.
one where he finally had one where I guess it was just kind of his mind letting go of the role, and
Hmm.
and and that was it. Like he kind of became psychologically sound after that. But
Well, I mean, this kind of thing goes way back to the actor that played Nosferatu had a mental breakdown after that movie.
mm,
Bela Lugosi, after
hmm
playing Dracula, had a mental
he
breakdown.
also had a haunted
Um,
mirror.
yeah, so it's just it sometimes the actors get a little too close to the subject matter, I think, and that's why Jack Nicholson. I mean, he even did he did the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, all that stuff. Like he really needs to have a class on how to stop being crazy after you play a crazy role.
It's a
Although
real.
I feel like his class would involve a lot of like cigars and alcohol, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I kind of want to sign up for that class anyways. Um, we are past the 30-minute mark, so I will do the Die of Destiny this time. And I'm going. Oh, I just dropped on the floor, so it doesn't count. I'm going to roll it, and I got a 9. That's weird. You got 9 last time. That's strange.
Did I? I think I got eight or nine.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Yeah.
I guess I get one up from you. So no embarrassing stories this podcast. So that's good. At least it's good for us.
Yeah. Right.
it's
Yeah,
probably it's probably better for our audience if we have to tell like really terrible stories about our
Triple
childhood.
B's gonna get it next time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just gonna fake a roll. I'm just kidding.
Oh, what's that? You rolled 19? Oh, I said minus 20.
Look at you.
Yeah, wait a minute though. Isn't that a that should be a banned strategy? Because, well, I guess you got to roll your dice, but you could always
Yeah.
just say that you rolled a 20. You're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
oh, minus 20. Got
That would be
him.
funny, actually. Got him. All right, so we'll end this podcast here, and we will catch you guys on the next one. I'm the Merce,
Hey, it's fella.
and y'all be safe out there.